Oh yeah, it was down.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's your basketball.
Kendyl
na mai I ko ka kola. So Akua in Hawaiian is spirit or creator. That song is called Okihimoimoi, and it's one of the most famously played Hawaiian songs. Is that key? Maybe one more. After Lori wrote a song for our gathering.
Who remembers our song? Oh, who remembers our song? It's really short. It's like 4 lines. And it's really about what vital living is about. Oh, no. I'll just say it loud. And then the microphone. So share your love. Clear the static away. Embrace the vital in your life today. Vital living, vital way. Mahalo, mahalo, aloha. So really it's about sharing ourselves, clearing all that stuff away, and then embracing what's vital in your life as well.
Share the love, clear the static away. You want to do
Tu 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 ta ta.
I was just being too quiet. Maybe just. Share your love, clear the static away. Embrace the vital in your life today. Vital living, vital way. Mahalo, mahalo, aloha. Share your love, clear the static away. Embrace the vital in your life today. Vital living, vital way. Mahalo, mahalo, aloha. Okay, one more time, louder, a little louder. Share your love, clear the static away. Embrace the vital in your life today. Vital living, vital way. Mahalo, mahalo, aloha. Kendyl, so beautiful. Well, welcome to our September Vital Living Gathering. I'd love to see all you here on Sundays once a month. It's so amazing to me. I feel very honored to have you in our space. And every third Sunday, we just talk a little tiny bit about vital living in the beginning. It's Nicole and my spiritual nonprofit. It's based in Hawaii, but we'd like to allow it to be global someday. Initially, we had created it for community services and for gatherings and for educational purposes. We really like to create a school for vital living practitioners to really harness the roots of what we're here to look at and really connect with. And one of our, the beginning, we had our first gathering in December. I kind of go through this little memory game every time I start our little services. And in December, we started with the Vis, the theme. We have a theme each time, and it was the Vis, and that's sort of the cornerstone of Vital Living Spiritual Organization. It's really about the healing power of nature and the vital force that's inside of all of us that really allows us to be healthy and whole and peaceful and calm and allow us to serve others as well. So we started with that theme in December, the Vis, and then we came to January, New Year, 2022, and we opened it up with change, with transformation for the new year, for bringing in the new and moving out what didn't serve us any longer, and allowing us to find that place of transformation and change for the new. And once we're going into the new place, the change and embracing that, we have to find our balance. So I believe, and anyone can correct me if I'm getting them out of order, but February is about balance. And once we have all these new things we're embracing and new ideas and new concepts, we need to find the balance in our lives to be able to allow us to stay not falling on one side of all this new exuberant energy, but really to find the place between both sides of excitement and of downtime and of the seesaw. So we're not doing this all the time, but we're kind of staying in the middle as much as possible. And that was February. That was balance. And then we came to this 3-month sort of triad. I like to think of it as March, April, May of nourish, cleanse, and rejuvenate. So I had mentioned before that how important it is in my naturopathic practice and our spiritual practice on how we need to allow ourselves to find that place of rejuvenation. But before we can be rejuvenated, we often need to nourish ourselves deeply so that we can cleanse. And if we're nourished, we have the ability to cleanse ourselves. And we don't have to always do so many detoxes. We can embrace some of them as we need, but we allow ourselves to nourish and then cleanse and then rejuvenate and reborn into the new. So that was March, April, May. And then I believe June was into flow. Is that true? And then we will allow ourselves to flow in the beginning of summer and the heat and water and the movement of that energy of really going into being with the present moment and flowing with that energy. And from June, we went into service in July, I believe, and people came to the farm and helped us dig a hollow bed and allowing us to serve each other and serve others, as well as ourselves, and not being selfish, but being self-loving so we can serve ourselves and then have the energy to serve others. So that was July. And then August, we had expression. So now that we have come full force with our balance and our rejuvenation and allowing ourselves to serve, we can really fully express who we are in many different ways that we can find expression. And that was last month. And we're here now in September. And as we've been thinking about September, I often think about school. I often think about education because then a lot of the kids, they always come in for school physicals in about August. In September, we start really looking at school. And school to me meant something about discipline. And I thought that discipline was a really interesting theme. We kind of gathered these themes together as a group of Vital Living practitioners or Vital Living ambassadors. And for September, we're going to have some interesting things about discipline. I don't know who read the newsletter, but I think it has many facets to it. I think some of us feel very, very panicked or nervous or upset because of the discipline we received as a child. Other people feel sort of embarrassed because they've wanted to discipline themselves for so many years or so many different ways and have not been able to, fallen short somehow. And that brings some anxiety as well. But there's also so much more to discipline in the Eastern philosophies. It's about a place in ourselves where we can really, if we can find that balance between discipline and spontaneity, or discipline and allowing ourselves to be, we can really find that place of peace, of that place of being able to feel empowered. And that's really what these gatherings are about, is to allow people to gather and meet and share and feel how empowered we can feel as a person individually and as a community at large, and as the world that we live in, to serve that world for being very empowered. So my dear friend CJ, who was going to talk a little bit about the breath, is actually honoring a friend in Florida, helping him through a very difficult time. So I'm going to share a little bit about the breath and diaphragmatic breathing, and then we'll go into our other sections. So we're just switching the agenda around a little bit. So let's open up with breathing and the diaphragm. And I was thinking about, as I was thinking about breath, and it seems like, why would we have to actually even talk about disciplining ourselves or thinking about how to breathe? It's such a natural thing to be able to breathe. And then I was realizing in myself, as well as so many of my clients and friends, that breath has not become so natural these days. That I meet so many people that are actually breathing really shallow breaths, and actually sometimes even almost gasping for air and not really even breathing deeply. So I think that it's something that maybe we want to revisit and relearn a little bit, or practice a little bit more. So if it's okay, I think it's easier a little bit sometimes to feel your breath if you stand. So if we could just stand for a moment, and you can leave your eyes open or close your eyes and just breathe normally, and actually just feel where your breath comes in to your body. Like where, obviously it's coming in through your nose, your mouth, but just like, put your hand maybe on your chest, or maybe on your middle area, or maybe on your lower area, and you take a breath in, to see what moves. Or if nothing moves, that's okay too. But just sort of see, as you breathe in, what moves, and as you breathe out, what moves. And just watch it for a little bit. Because, sometimes the breathing exercises and breathing workshops and Lamaze classes and birth classes, and they teach you how to breathe, it kind of brings some anxiety about, oh my God, I have to learn how to breathe again. And so I don't want to bring that in now. I want to just breathe and watch it for a minute. I have the wonderful honor of being able to watch babies as they breathe. I feel so blessed that these little babies come in, I see them newborn, and they just breathe so naturally. And I watch them and I remember if I've forgotten. So there's a diaphragm right here, right? A muscle. I think people know that the lungs aren't obviously muscles. They're like sponges. And you actually need the muscles around your lungs to help you with bringing the air in and moving the air out. And there's many different ways to actually use those muscles. There's actually called clavicular or intercostal breathing. And that's when you actually breathe from more up here. And it's really kind of tiring, and it actually can be kind of dangerous, actually, if you do it for longer periods of time, because you're not allowing this huge muscle right here, the diaphragm, which actually, as you use it, it stimulates the vagus nerve, which is really important for the parasympathetic nervous system. And that's the nervous system that allows the gut-brain access and allows you to be calm and relaxed. So if you're not really using that diaphragm, then you're not really stimulating the organs down here. You're not really necessarily connecting with the vagus nerve and the parasympathetic. Okay, so where do people feel the breath? You can point, some people are going up here, some people are here. Right, so a lot of people feel it in their chest, and that's where they think, because the lungs, and that's where they feel the breath is. But really the idea in diaphragmatic breathing, or the concept, if you watch babies, they breathe all from here. There's these little bellies that just go, and they go, so when they breathe in, their belly gets really big. And when they breathe out, everything kind of just goes and contracts. And when they breathe in, it gets big again. So we're going to just practice this kind of diaphragmatic breathing. It's like you're coming from your root, and you're like a big vessel. And you're actually, when you breathe in, your diaphragm your lungs are going to expand. So you're breathing in, your lungs are expanding, and it's pushing this down, and your belly comes out. So as you breathe in, your belly comes out. And as you breathe out, your belly goes in. So maybe if you put your hands on your belly and watch it, you breathe in and you breathe out. And as you breathe in, and if you feel like you're breathing in your chest, then settle again. Imagine you're that vessel and you're breathing into the bottom of the vessel. Breathe into your belly and then your chest and then your back. And then you breathe out. And you breathe in, belly, chest, back, like a big vessel, and breathe out. And then see if you can even just relax all your intercostal and clavicular muscles and just breathe only in your belly. Breathing in and breathing out. Imagine you're a baby again. You know just how to breathe. It's so easy and natural. There's no trying. There's no effort. It's just breathing into your belly, in and out. And the parasympathetic nervous system is stimulated and you're relaxed and you're present and you're getting full breath into your body. And if it's hard, it's okay. It's practice. You can little by little. And if it's hard to think about breathing out, you can at least do the breathing in like, breathing out. It's hard to think about breathing in. You can all do the big exhale and bit your belly and go, and then it naturally opens up and breathes in. And one more time, and breathe in. And then so every day, you might just take a few minutes or a few seconds or whatever it is to just put your hands in your belly and see that you're a baby again. And you're breathing and you're watching that your body's not going, you're going, And if you have questions, we're going to hang around after and we can talk about breathing more. But for now, since you're all in this nice, good, wonderful state of peace and calm, we're going to go right into goal setting with Nicole and Garrett. So you can sit quietly if you want to, and you keep your diaphragmatic breathing, and we'll come and share more later.
Hello, everybody. I'm Nicole.
Hello, I'm Garrett. I can sit down.
And we are talking about goal setting, but we like to call it more of creating a roadmap or a blueprint, just as you would have a blueprint for a house. We practice making a blueprint kind of for our life. And the theme is discipline this month. And I like to say freedom through discipline. Because let's say you really wanted financial freedom. To do that, you would have to be financially disciplined to follow a budget. And in that, you're going to find the financial freedom that you want. So you can kind of apply this freedom through discipline in all aspects of your life. And Cassie's passing out a little worksheet and pens. I love worksheets, but it's not just to fill time today. And this isn't just a worksheet that has come out of nowhere just to occupy your space. We have utilized this for our life and we've found great success in it. And anyone that we've shared it with and really implements it into their life has also achieved all their goals. And then we have friends who just listen to us and then go home and don't do it, and they haven't achieved their goals. So,
Yeah, we have whenever we're working with the teams, various teams around the world, mainly recently in Nazareth, we asked all the people, please let us know what your goals are. What do you want out of life? Where's your ultimate goal? And then we help them create a blueprint. And the few that did their map actually succeeded mightily in the few that didn't. They're still in the same spot.
So I know most of you guys know us, but some of you I don't recognize. So I imagine you have no idea who we are talking about this and why we should be talking about this. But so 12 years ago, Garrett
we
and
met 12 years ago.
Yeah, but we made a roadmap.
Well, we would actually when we first met, we would wake up every morning. First we put our roadmap together, our blueprint, and then we would wake up every morning, look at our blueprint, and then we would focus on how to achieve those
Visualize.
goals.
We would visualize our roadmap basically. But anyway, 12 years ago, on that roadmap was to ride the biggest wave in the world. And
First, we had to find it.
right, so the universe just literally delivered it to us. We followed our roadmap, and next thing you knew, we were in Nazareth, where the biggest wave in the world is that nobody knew about. And then Garrett wrote it, and he got a Guinness World Record. So that was just one example of our roadmap really working. We, at that time, for 3 years, we lived out of a suitcase, no house. We
No
didn't
children.
even have a place we were renting. We just had nowhere.
But
We wrote down on our map to have a house, and now we live on this beautiful property on the beach that we followed our roadmap, and it was very detailed about everything we had to do every day, like different things. And
when we met, we were both about 30 grand in debt. I was in debt for various reasons, and she was from she was in debt for college tuition. So and the house, like crazy.
What else have we written down? Oh, and the best one is I wrote down I wanted to win an Oscar, so I made a blueprint for that. And just last week we didn't win an Oscar, but we won an Emmy.
Well,
so
that's a good part where don't stay rigidly attached. Like you have your goal and you're like marching to doing everything to achieve it, but let it morph to maybe it's going to go a different direction and just don't be too rigidly attached.
Yeah, and you might.
So she wanted an Oscar and she was really rigidly attached. So then the Emmy was just like, okay, we'll win an Emmy then. And then we win the Emmy and she won't go into it.
So we have a docu-series that is out on HBO Max called The 100-Foot Wave. And we were nominated for Best Docu-Series up against the Beatles and Andy Warhol and Kanye. And also nominated for Best Cinematography.
Wow. Congrats.
Thank you. And
that's just so that you know that what we are sharing works, like without a doubt.
Yeah, without a doubt, it really does. But like he was saying, you might sit here and think, oh, here's my goal. And, tomorrow you might wake up and say, oh, I don't want to do that because you might have a different goal. So it's really allowing, you make this roadmap, but allowing the universe to guide you and following the different roads because they're going to pop up. And it's really listening to, your internal guidance of passion and what's lighting you up and following that. And it might totally morph. And next week you could have a totally different roadmap. One thing is, for a lot of people, it doesn't happen for me because I don't know, I've been doing worksheets. That's my passion. But I know for a lot of people, like even seeing a worksheet, it can bring up a lot of resistance. And I feel especially in this like new agey movement, there's like resistance to actually being disciplined and having a roadmap. So if you are feeling resistance when you see this worksheet, it's like really tapping into that feeling that's arising in you. Is it fear of failure? Maybe like you're afraid if you write down your goals that they won't happen, so you just don't do it. Or is it fear of commitment that's popping up? Like, oh, well, if I do this, then I'm really actually going to have to be disciplined and, look at what my day is. So it's just really sitting with what's ever coming up for you, if anything is about writing anything down on this paper. I kind of just made a simple one with something. It's not silly, but it's not a major thing. So maybe an example would be, okay, my goal is to improve my gut health. So that's what my main goal is going to be. And then it's really important to have a why, because if you don't know why you're doing anything, you're probably not going to do it. Garrett always really likes to tie in a selfless component to it. So, yes, improving my gut health is really good for my own vitality, but you can look at it as, well, if I've improved my gut health and, I don't have any more brain fog and I have more vitality, I can do more for those around me. I can be more present with those around me. So he always likes to tie in the selfless why also. So then, you have these subcategories. So if I want to improve my gut health, I have eliminate gluten from my diet. and then all of the things that I have to do to remove gluten from my diet, which would be get gluten out of my house would be the first thing. And then, make sure you're only buying whole foods. You're welcome to look at this later, but it keeps going. And then replenish healthy gut biome by finding a good probiotic, drinking lots of water, and then get moving. So, and then it lists all the things. And then at the bottom, it says, okay, if this is my main goal, what's my day gonna look like? So it's kind of like giving yourself a daily little schedule of maybe first thing in the morning of your day, you're gonna look at your roadmap, which is another key. You can take a picture of this with your phone and make it your screensaver on your iPhone.
We used
So
to
you
put it on the
always-
refrigerator, in the bathroom, in the car, and we had it everywhere. But now you just have it on your phone.
Yeah, so I would, what else do you want to say? I had all these things to say, I just lost my thoughts. No, I was just talking about that.
It can be as elaborate as you want or as simple as you want.
Oh,
Question. So what my day looks like is what it should look like, or is it what I've already done, like what I did that day?
it's kind of like, so after you fill out all the things that you need to do in your subcategories, I kind of make a daily plan.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's what it should, look like.
And when you're going through your day, you look at that as often as you need to, because if you're not doing what's on that list, it's going to take you a lot longer or further from your goal. So you make sure that day is, you're actually, we kind of walk around blind all day long. And if you have this, you have purpose, you have meaning, you know what you're doing all day, every day to achieve what you want to achieve. And it's really a meaning.
You know what you're working towards. And off of what he was saying is when you really have this clear goal, every day, every word you speak,
What you choose to consume, whether it's
food or
music or
Instagram,
TV or
every one of those choices is either bringing you closer to that goal on the top of your paper or farther away. So, and that's really, we literally have a choice in everything we do all day long and where it's going to take us.
One goal, few goals.
Oh yes, right now we have 3 of these on our refrigerator for different goals. So it's not, break your goals up. Maybe you have a vitality goal, like relating to your health, and where you want to be physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Maybe it's somewhere in the financial aspect or business,
personal growth and career growth. And
yeah. So I definitely recommend having more than one of these.
can you share with them how we used to start our days?
How did we start our days?
Go
ahead.
for it. Go for it.
No, I don't remember.
We would wake up and we would read, and then we would write down personal growth and career growth, and we would focus on what we wanted, how we wanted to better ourselves and better our lives and better our career. And then we would meditate on it, and then we would actually write, and every day we would write again and every day was progress, and you could see it actually unfolding in front of your eyes.
And it's really fun when you make these to look back 5 years later and you're like, wow, it really, really works. And so, are there any questions? Other questions?
But where did you guys find this? Did you guys make this up on your own, or like?
Yes,
We
I
made it
did.
in 5 minutes yesterday.
This morning, actually, while I was breastfeeding. But yeah. But this is what ours on the refrigerator look like. So, yeah. And it's fun to make them beautiful too. Like, make it fun, have fun doing it. Like, it's like, yes, you're disciplined, but that doesn't mean that being disciplined isn't fun.
So, do you rewrite one of these every day and change the categories? Do you just rewrite what my
No,
day
so
looks
we'll
like?
have unless our goal changes.
Mhm.
We have our main one that, has all the things that we have to do to make that goal happen. The only thing that'll change is maybe what the day looks like. So I usually, me personally, it's a preference, but I go a week out of everything that I can accomplish from these subcategories in a week and kind of plan them out. Okay, this day, this is what I'm going to focus on. And it also depends whether it's like a health one or a goal one, but this is definitely going to be like your main basis, and then you can create your days off of those subcategories.
And do sometimes the subcategories change?
For
Like,
sure.
Do they get added and
Yep.
when you start moving?
It's a flow. So, even though we're being disciplined, it's really allowing yourself the space to be flexible and see what's working and flow that way. And the universe really will, when you're in alignment with what your soul has come here to do, if that goal is truly in alignment, the universe, you're going to see it's just flowing and opening up to you in all different ways that are really magical.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Wow. Thank you, Nicole.
Why? Obviously.
First up, cool, yeah.
Hello. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Everybody shake your head yes if you can hear me. Thank you, Marsha. I love you. All right. So I'm here to share with you guys a little bit about a concept in Ayurveda called Dinachara. And there's so much great stuff from Garrett and Nicole that feeds right into this goal setting, because Dinacharya is meant to be an intentional way of living your life with the goal of longevity. The longer that you can live your life, the longer you have to fill your soul's purpose on this planet. And so it's a set of activities or self-care practices that we should be doing every day that help us to be in alignment with the natural rhythms of the universe. There's a daily routine that keeps us in line with the rising and the setting of the sun. And there are seasonal routines that keep us in line with the different seasons that are going on. All, of course, to bring balance to the humors or the dosha, which are the governing principles. So Dinacharya is a dedication to the maintenance of life. And this is done in two methods. And one is through this daily routine, and that is meant to keep the healthy person healthy. And then there is a routine or daily routine of medicine taking that brings the unhealthy person back to health. So I just want to share with you guys a few of these activities that help to keep us in line with the natural circadian rhythms. So the first thing that should happen for us to live a long and healthy life is that we should wake up at the right time. And when we wake up, and maybe the doctors in the house can speak a little bit more scientifically to this idea, but that we should wake up right at dawn as the sun is starting to make its light, so that we're there to greet it, that our cells become active. And in Ayurveda, we learn sort of a concept that the closest thing I can think to relate it to, and please help me, Lori, is that the platelets, some activity in our blood actually gets heavier if we sleep past the rising of the sun. So some people think, oh, I'm going to sleep longer. I'm going to sleep until 10 or 11 today, like really catch up on my sleep. But then you wake up and you're like, oh, I'm just like super groggy and heavy all day long. It's because you confused your system by sleeping past the wrong time. So now it's not in rhythm with the sun. It's off sync a little bit. And so now your hunger is going to be off. The hormones are going to be off. Your digestion is going to be just a little bit off. And so that time is considered to be, 1.5 hours-ish before the sun comes up. And it's supposed to be a time when the energies, the vibrations of the atmosphere are conducive for learning and for understanding. And I went back to my classical text in Ayurveda, and everything's written in Sanskrit, so it takes a little bit longer to make sense of things. But as I was reading it, I can remember hearing little kids early in the morning before the parents even get up, and they're in there just talking away. Oh, they're having such fun little conversations. With whom are they having those fun little conversations? It's the subtler spirits. That time is a thin veil. We are able to hear the messages of source or the messages of our higher self. And so in that space, we can receive wisdom, we can receive knowledge. And so that's why it's a good time to be up and alert and receptive in that time versus sleeping and missing the whole atmosphere in that time. I know that for me, around that time when the sun starts to make light in the room, it's when I'm having my most, I don't know if profound is the right idea, but it's definitely when I'm hearing messages of, oh, you need to drink more water, or you said you weren't going to do that bad habit and you did it again. And like, it's sort of a reflective teaching moment that myself is giving myself. So I just encourage everybody to try that. It's around dawn. So like 1 hour before the sun comes up is a good time for us to be looking at this goal setting situation and mapping out and meditating and manifesting what it is that we want to achieve, connecting with those vibrations. And then the second thing that we want to do once we're awake is that we want to empty the bowels. We want to clear all of the channels out. If the channels aren't clear, then new information can't come in, and it causes a sludge and a cloudiness and a fogginess over our ability to make clear goals, for our ability to know exactly what it is we want to do to move forward. So clean them out. At night, our digestive system works very hard to clean away the residue of undigested material. We don't fully digest a conversation, or we didn't fully digest a meal. The digestive system needs to clean that out. And where it puts the trash essentially is back in the digestive system. And we need to empty that out, or that trash just starts to back up and cause other health problems. The third thing that you want to then do after you've evacuated and you're clean is to take care of the oral hygiene. One of the main methods of receiving medicine or nutrients from this perspective is that we have to taste things. We have to taste the sweet, sour, salty, pungent, bitter, and astringent flavors, because those act as communicators to our cells and to our biology to do different things, to nourish us, to cleanse us, to send in more hydrochloric acid. They're all communicating. And so we need to be able to taste and experience life through that particular sense. And if we're evacuating our bowels, that's also helping to keep hearing, touch, vision, taste, and smell. Those are also channels that are receiving information. Those are also clear. All right, so cleaning our mouth, that's to scrape the tongue. The tongue is also connected to your digestive system, and every night it puts up residue as well. If you look at your tongue in the morning, sometimes there's a thick coating on it, and it can change depending on what you ate. Something that was less suitable for you would leave more of a residue. If you're eating a little bit healthier and cleaner and giving space between your meals and not combining foods that don't really mesh well together, less of a residue on your tongue. In Ayurveda, this residue is, well, in Sanskrit, it's referred to as ama, and it's this sludge that builds up from undigested stuff. And the more of that sludge that is in your system inhibits your ability to make correct decisions. Dr. Ladd, my teacher, would say, you can only trust your intuition as much as your body is clear of ama. So even your ability to be intuitive, we have to have that residue cleared away. So it's a good idea to scrape your tongue, brush your teeth, and to even swish with oil in the mouth. Oil is a big practice in Ayurveda. We use it for everything. But that, again, helps to nourish the oral cavity. It also helps to pull toxins from deeper in the system. We go through all of the things. All of the senses need to be clean. So the next thing we do is to clean the eyes. A traditional practice in Ayurveda is the kajal. I know you've probably seen people from India, even babies at a specific age, they start to put, it's actually the soot of ghee, ash ghee, and you put it in the eye to help bring about health and clarity to the eyes. I think a more modern day practice would just simply be spraying some rose water in your eye or doing a little eye rinse in the morning. The eyes are a seat of the sun, an aspect of the sun, and they live in the head, which is more an aspect of kapha or water. And so they can get kapha, they can get congested with goopy material. The qualities in there can be slimy and heavy and musty. So we want to clear that away. How you guys doing?
Good.
Does anybody do any of these things yet? Some things? What do you guys do in the morning?
I've been doing tongue scraping since I was a kid.
Yeah, right on.
Yeah.
Right on. Anybody else? Yes, at least.
I just want to share that I learned it with Elijah,
Uh-huh.
that the Hawaiians back in times, they used to ring the eyes before they go to conflict or war with noni water, the water that they made the noni. So they say that the noni water helps them to clean the veil to see the spirits of the warriors, and also to see the vision of the pregnant woman over Mount Kala. So they say like when you clean the eyes with the noni, you have more ability to see the spirit
Oh wow,
of
that's
your adversary. Yeah, yeah, like
adversary.
yeah,
Yeah, your
Adversary.
nemesis.
yes.
What did they do?
It's called kajal, but it's
No,
really what it really was is that they would take a ghee candle and they would hold like a piece of glass as the candle would smoke a little bit, and that soot that would catch on the glass they would then take and put in the eye. In the eye. Yep. Right in the sclera. No, what's this called? Conjunctiva. Conjunctiva. They put it right there. Yeah, castor oil too. They also burn castor oil. Same thing. Take that soot and put that in the eye. Yep. And a couple of practices for eye care. If you have burning, red, itchy eyes, you can put a drop of warm ghee in your eyes at night, or you can put a drop of castor oil in your eyes if you have like a sty in your eye or some kind of infection, and it helps to clear that away.
Sorry, I have one more question.
Yeah.
Sorry. I see some people using trifala in the eye. Does it help us to clean, or
Yes.
is it some another purpose?
It helps to clean the eyes. It helps to revitalize the eyes. It works on the subtle aspect of the sun we call tejas, this illuminating energy, and it helps to make that stronger. Triphala is it's good for your hair, your bones, your eyes. You can use it for toothpaste. You can use it for an eye wash. We use it to support the digestive system. You can put it on cuts as like a paste. Yeah.
What sorts of triphala do you? What kind do you buy?
I usually get a powder.
Yeah, do you feel like the powder is better to take than the capsule?
So
Even though it
this is
tastes best?
such a good question. Really, the best way to take it is the method that you actually will do. Because triphala doesn't taste so good, lots of people don't like the taste, so then they won't do it. But then this idea that the first effect any substance has on the body is through its taste. We want to have a little bit of that experience of that taste. So that is an ideal way, but if you won't do it, then it's not the right method for you.
Yeah, I used to do the powder, and then I started taking the capsules, and I was like, this is so much easier.
Yeah.
The powder's so gross, but I feel like it's probably not as effective.
Yeah. There's even a triphala has all of the taste except for salty in it, and it's believed that when you take it and you perceive the sweet taste, then you don't need to take it anymore.
Oh, wow.
And that's a sign that your body is clear. You can take a few months off. Yeah.
What's triphala? How do you spell that?
It's triphala, and phala means fruit, and tree means three, like trikonasana. So it's three fruits, each one to benefit vata, pitta, and kapha. And one of them is called amalaki, which is super high in vitamin C. So it's also good for your immune system, the blend. All right, so the next thing after we've cleared the oral cavity, we want to clear the eyes and then the nose. So in Ayurveda and yoga, we learn the neti pot, and like it's called neti sutra, where you actually floss the nasal cavity. You guys seen like crazy yoga pictures where they stick threads in through the nose and then they kind of do that. Those are a little bit extreme. Simply, you can take some sesame oil or sunflower oil and dip your clean finger in it, and then massage inside the nasal cavity and get that nice and lubricated with that oil. It acts as a protective barrier for any pollutants or pollens that you interact with during the day. And it also helps to keep your sinuses lubricated so that none of that stuff will stick in there.
You do all this in the morning?
Yeah, there's Well, if you're getting up, at sunrise, you've got some time. You got some time. Yeah, this list goes, on. The next thing we want to do is to apply oil to the body. To anoint oil to the body is said to keep all of the tissues supple and healthy, and the muscles toned. And it also, that slippery quality doesn't allow the sticky quality of toxins to stay in the body. So daily you're doing this anointing and you're moving the sticky quality back to the digestive system, where hopefully it gets eliminated. But you're also touching yourself. In Sanskrit, the word for oil is called snehana, and it means to give affection. And so when you anoint yourself or give yourself an oil massage, you're touching yourself in a way you probably never have. You're caring for yourself in a way that you never have. And you get to learn about your body. You get to learn how it changes from day to day. Oh, there's, a cut there I didn't know I had, and or a mole, or I'm getting stronger as I go through this practice. I can feel my muscles get more strength. Um, so oiling the body is a big practice in Ayurveda for maintaining health.
What oil do you use?
So that also depends on the person. Sesame, sunflower, and coconut are the three most common. Sesame oil is heating. So if you're a person who already is dealing with a lot of heat in their body, in their mind, and in their emotions, you want to maybe pick a coconut oil because that's a little bit more cooling. Sunflower is also a little bit more cooling. And then, of course, we need to get some exercise. We need to move this body. We need to make it sweat so that those channels can stay clear, so that we can get the lungs moving, so that we can keep the digestive system moving. And once we've done all that, well, it's about, maybe 7 o'clock now, we can take a bath. and then have your first meal. So this is a long list, and it's very overwhelming, and it's not the kind of thing you want to go, okay, I'm going to start that tomorrow. Because it just won't happen. But coming back to the idea of discipline is when you make health your goal, you can start to select the activities that you do with more intention, with more consciousness towards that goal. And you don't have to do all of these things. You just start with one thing. And that one thing is the non-negotiable thing. Whether I wake up in LA or if I wake up in the North Shore, I'm going to swish every day, or I'm going to scrape my tongue every day, or I'm going to, whatever it is, you just pick one thing to start helping you build discipline towards this daily intention of living a long and healthy life. It's been my experience I've been practicing Ayurveda for over 10 years now, and I finally feel like I have something that might look a little like this, definitely not exactly, but it's taken so long to get there, and so many moments of, wow, it's been a week. I haven't done any of that. And it's as I find my daily routine more regular, I find that I have more discipline for other activities, for getting more exercise, or for starting a new project, or for adding practices like this into my life. Whereas if I didn't have the longevity, I didn't have that experience with my discipline, this wouldn't work. I wouldn't personally be able to do this so well. But now I have that as a foundation. I have my day is set. It doesn't feel so chaotic. I can start to implement new things. And when we have that order in our life, it gives us the freedom that these guys were talking about to, oh, well, today my friends called me up and they said, let's go surf. And it actually means I'm going to miss my yoga practice and my abhyanga or my oiling or whatever. But that's okay, because my body is more resilient due to the discipline I've had. So I can go off and do these random things every now and then, and my body can still rebound back to health very easily. So that's the Ayurveda of that's the concept of Dinachara, which means daily routine. And it helps us to build discipline for all aspects of our life. So I encourage you guys to pick one thing that you heard me say today and try it for a few days. And if it doesn't feel supportive to you, then maybe try something else, but give it some effort, give it some, what's the right word here? It's a Sanskrit word, a sankalpa. Give it a very strong intention with strong effort, and notice the benefits you experience. Yeah.
Your Dinachara.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yep.
Obviously, you probably did a much longer list. Is it like potentially every hour of the day, or sort of morning, midday, evening, or?
Yeah, because those governing principles, Vata, Pitta, and Kapha, they rule different times of the day. There are definite more appropriate activities to do definitely every hour of the day. For example, the hours between 6 and 8 in the morning and the evening are considered to be kapha times, when the body is just more unctuous, it's more full of congestion. That's often when coughers have a smoke or cough, that congestion in the lungs builds. So that's a good time to do kapha practices, to do the nasya, to get some exercise, because you counter the effects, you bring balance through applying opposite qualities to that aspect of your life. And another idea there would be eating your lunch, or your biggest meal should be at lunchtime, because your inner fire that digests everything that you could bring in through the senses follows the path of the sun. So when the sun is at its highest, hottest peak, your digestive capacity is theoretically also stronger. In the morning and the evening, it's not as strong, so we don't need to have heavy, complicated meals at those times. Lunch is the time when we can handle that even better. Thank you.
What's that? Very well done.
Hi guys, I'm Mercy. This is Zena. And my husband Ananda is going to segue into some discipline of dance moves for us to practice to hone our skills in life momentarily. First, I want to just mention I'm a naturopathic doctor, and when I was in school, we had physical medicine classes, and all of our teachers for phys med were chiropractors. And at first, we were like, okay, like we're probably not all going to be cracking necks. Like, what are we learning here in naturopath school? But they taught us things that I think are applicable, at least for me, because I'm a mover, to so many different aspects of our lives. Namely, and what I wrote about in the newsletter is how to reconfigure your nervous system, like you would reconfigure a computer, So all the time, as you know, if you're doing the same thing every day, like say you get up and you go for your walk and you maybe have a movement goal of rehabbing your low back, and you maybe do a few of your PT exercises. And you do it again and again, maybe for 6 weeks, and maybe not that much change. That happens often. I'm hearing a lot of people saying yeah, I tried my PT, tried my whatever exercise, not losing the weight, not healing the low back, etc. So it's definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over without, really changing it and expecting a different result, right? So I just want to entertain the idea of doing the same thing maybe that you are used to, movement-wise, in a new way. So if you're used to bicep curls, for example, perhaps you could try your curl in a different kind of motion in the future to start rewiring your nervous system. We have patients who have neurological conditions like tremors, and that's a condition that's just repeated. And to remedy that, often we're trying to calm the nervous system, which is going to rewire it by doing some body work, potentially even body talk. I love doing cranial sacral because I can hold someone's head and feel all these different little things happening inside the cranium just from holding a head. Seems so simple. And I think some people, when they go to cranial sacral type therapies, will say, "Oh, hold on, baby. Maybe I don't really feel anything. Maybe I don't know if that's really actually doing anything for me. But there's so much that can be done on these different levels." Okay. So what I want to do is just bring you guys through this fun little exercise. I was a ballet dancer when I was a kid, and then I got into modern dance, and that was where my heart was. And I was so glad to find modern dance because ballet was so strict and rigid. But that discipline of ballet served me for the rest of my life because I loved to dance and I knew my technique. But I wanted to show you guys something different from the belly dance world. To open the portals and the pathways in all the parts of your body, and maybe just connect you to a deeper understanding of what's going on in your body. So if everyone will just stand up. I know ever since we had a few times ago, she wants to talk on the mic, practice. We're supporting. So take a moment to ground your feet in the grass. Then you want to try? Step your feet up. Pop your knees up, maybe move it about it. Shake it out for a second, just loosening up. Let's take a few cleansing breaths, inhaling deep back down into your belly, reconnecting to your belly breathing. I just would like you to start with a circle for your feet. And just start going in a motion where it feels like the middle of your feet are the middle of the circle. You're going slowly and bring all of your awareness down to your feet. Just notice, do you feel like you're leaning more towards one side? Is there little bitty imbalances or strengths or weaknesses in the feet? Just noticing, not judging. And trying to circle kind of evenly. Keep going that same direction the whole way up through your body. So we're going to go from the feet through the ankles. You can close your eyes if you'd like, or soften your gaze, deepen your breath, focus into your ankles. And try to make a nice circle all the way around. And move it up through your calves. Try to kind of circle through the calves into the knees. When this was taught to me in Hawaii like 12 years ago, she told me, don't ever teach this because it's a secret. But it's really simple. I think everyone needs to know. So I don't think she'll know. Through the knees, up through the thighs, up into the low pelvis. This is a very sacred area. It's where your sacrum is. It's where pelvic floor muscles are, which are quite complicated sometimes. Find the middle and circle around. And just bring all of your awareness there. So I think when we're developing a new discipline and looking into our body, it takes a lot of focus, right? If you're doing the same thing all the time every day, like say it's your bicep curls and your walk, maybe you lose focus a little. Maybe it depends on the podcast you're listening to or the music. Focusing into the breath, moving it up through the hips. So really start isolating your pelvis. That nice big juicy circle, and notice, are you doing it the same way you've always done a hip circle, or can you try to kind of do it in a new different way?
Reversing.
Well, not yet. We're going to reverse it once we're at the top. Too soon. We go into the low back. Try to circle around your low back, and this is where belly dancers will shine over the rest of us. Because, oh, who's a little tight in there? Working through the kinks. Making some new connections. Body's like, okay, I hear you. We're doing something different here. Through the belly, really isolating the belly. Try to circle it around the spine. The spine is the middle of the circle. Focusing on the breath. Through your ribs, through those lungs, and through that diaphragm, into your chest. Just going to provide a little background. And through that chest, through the shoulders, start really isolating your shoulders. Circling all the way around through your neck. Through the neck. Try to like circle, isolating the neck, isolating the head, then just to your head, yeah? Nice, into your whole head. Doing it with your breath, guys. Start circling your head the other direction, and we're going to work from the crown chakra, from the top of the head, all the way through your body. I see you. Good job. Through the neck, through the head. Taking it down. So you're going the other way. Nice and slow. Work through your own body at your own pace. Listening to your breath. Letting the outside be on the outside. Focusing inward. Bring it through the chest. Take your time. Through your ribs. Circling all the way down. Opening those pathways. The energy can flow freely through your chakras, down through your pelvis. Circle, circle. Shake. All the way down through your legs, into your feet. Circling around the edges of your feet. And take your time to finish, no rush. You can find yourself standing still. Into Tadasana or mountain pose. And your feet underneath you, and the crown of the head open. Beautiful. Just a new exercise to maybe bring into your daily routine, something new, something different. Or one other alternative exercise you can do that Lori, I think, has done before with us, I learned from Lori, is shaking. It's very Qigongy, but this is another way to do it, right? So start shaking, guys. Just take your time, just start shaking. Shake. Notice you're all doing a pattern. So start doing it in a way that there is not a single pattern. Chaotic shaking. Beautiful. Okay, Ananda.
Great. Now that we woke up super early. We did all the oils. We did all the cleansing, and now we're warmed up for the exercise. So one of my jobs I do on the island is I go around and I work with seniors and teaching them chair yoga and chair tai chi and dance, chair dance. And what I learned, I've been dancing a long time, but what I really understand now through the discipline of doing that all the time is that partner dancing is only a few things. It's a triple step and a rock step, or it's a rock step and a rock step. So, or it's a rock step, triple step, rock step. So if we practice this all the time, if you're ever caught in a situation where you want to dance partner with someone, you can do it because you practice the basic steps. So let's all look at those basic steps. And it's triple step side, triple step back and forth. And this triple step can be so interesting in how you do it. This is real basic triple step. Triple step, triple step. Let's get our arms going and just kind of move around in place, working on those steps. Triple step, triple step.
Why don't some of you guys just move on up? Just make yourself some space. You don't feel all smushed.
So this is more of a polka type of step. Triple step, triple step, triple step, triple step, or triple step, triple step, triple step. Let's lift the knees. Triple step, triple step. Let's really grind this into the earth and get it in our system. We want to know this stuff because maybe the person you're going to dance with is going to be super fun and really love that you can do the steps. So what's another step that we want to work on is a rock step. Rock step. Step. Rock step forward. Let's do it together. Rock step forward. Just rock stepping forward with each foot. Rock stepping forward. Rock stepping side. And what I've learned when doing all these steps, they really help with your overall balance too. So if you fall, you go, whoa, you did a triple step to catch yourself, or a rock step back to catch yourself. So there are many benefits of all this. So what's a simple salsa step? Rock step back, rock step forward, and that's it. And this is almost the same too to a Charleston step. If we switch sides, it's a rock step back left, rock step forward, rock step. And now I've really made it more, but it's the same step. It's a rock step forward and a rock step back. So let me put on some music and we'll start working with these movements with some music. So the first one is the triple step. This is a nice little simple song. Ready? It doesn't matter, wherever you go. Step, triple step. So this is a basic triple step from side to side, but waltzes don't really do this as much. They do a square. Step, side together, step, side together. So it's just a triple step too. Step, step, and triple step. Down, up, down, up, right. Let's do another triple step. Step, rock step, rock step.
Yeah, you can start adding your own way.
Forward and step, forward and step. Back to a triple step. triple step, triple step. So this is a great way to exercise in the morning, I promise. And you could be cooking eggs. You could be flossing your teeth and doing all your stuff you need to do and still triple step around the house. Come here, puppy. Triple step. Come over here. Come here, dear. Triple step. Triple step. Great. Everyone's got that.
Can I interject one thing?
Yes.
So when you're dancing with a partner, there's a few little things, right, that can help. So if you want to find a partner and just take a moment to bring your hands to their hands. Okay? So if everyone will just turn and be like, okay, you. Okay.
It doesn't matter
We're
who.
just gonna try.
It doesn't matter who. Guy, girl, guy, girl, guy. It doesn't matter. We're just moving from side to side.
Okay, so 2 hands. Okay. So try for a moment a little push-pull. A little push-pull. So you're going to keep your arms strong. So when ladies or followers or whatever aren't going to bring their elbows back. The same for the guys, right? So when you push one way and then pull the other way, you can follow each other.
You don't see me losing my arms or going back.
Yes.
Think about stiffening a little bit to be able to move your whole frame together. Hey, you out there by yourself.
She's got Frank.
Oh, she's got Frankie.
Yeah, I got Frankie. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
So if he pushes me, I'm not going to let my elbows go way back and lose my bubbles.
They call it your frame. You want to keep your frame.
Keep your frame. That way. So yeah, try a little push-pull. A little forward, a little back, a little side to side. But now the question is who's leading, who's following?
And it's a great practice to do both, to see if you can follow and see if you can lead, and just be aware of your partner's frame.
Okay, so all partners on Ananda's side do the lead for a minute. So whoever's on Ananda's side of the partnership here.
So we're gonna go triple. It's gonna go left, and the other following here is gonna go right. Triple step, triple step. And right now, we're just going side to side, but you can revolve your side to side and make it a little slightly more complex.
Yeah, so the leader can lead you around.
So if you,
In a circle.
oh, you're doing so.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so ready, switch. Whoever was following, lead. Whoever was leading, follow. Do a little triple step.
I know how to lead.
Nice.
I've never led.
Try the box square. Yeah, you go.
I get this one.
1, 2, 3. So let's move on. Let's move on to rock stepping. Okay, so I got a great song for rock stepping. Rock step hold, rock step hold. So the basic of this, the basic step. Everyone goes back on the right, everyone goes forward on the left. And then when you mix the two, you can mix in between. As she goes right, I go left. Right? So then let's look at it. Simple. Back, together, forward, together. Back, together, forward, together. Back again, you're making legs. You're making looks now. And you're working these kinks out.
One day she passed me by, a twinkle in her eye.
I'll be right here. I'm going to give you some water. And then you do your steps over
When he
to
turned
it.
around, he
So
lost
we want to
my
make this a little more
mind.
basic. A mambo step will add a kick.
Lily comes when you stop to call her. Lily runs when you look away. Lily leaves kisses on your collar.
If you want to make it a little more advanced. Or not. You just want to do the simple step.
Always go back to the basics. Beautiful.
And this is rock stepping. This is all it is, rock stepping. Side to the right. Kick step. Rock step, kick step. Flip your head.
treats. Nobody stopped to taste them. Some
so
are in
much
his
more.
pocket, some are in
Or flip your toes, whatever it is, you know.
Ever since she's
Going back.
gone, some days he can't go on. She ruined him for another. Pressed up against the glass.
All right, find your partner.
Now he's living with his mother.
Whoever on my side's gonna go left forward, and on her side right back.
Left forward. See, here we go.
Kisses on your collar.
My side is back.
Just a rock step. A rock step. Yeah, that's it. Just basic. Getting left.
Lily leaves kisses on your collar.
Nice. So now switch leads. Switch leads.
So we're gonna do. So now we're gonna do rock step, triple step, rock step, triple step. Just a little bit. We'll keep it as basic as possible. It'll be okay. Here we go. So, everyone follow me. On the right. Rock step, triple step, rock step. Let's just do the triple steps. Triple step. Feel like a kick in the rock step. We'll just do polka.
You can always go back to the easier one.
So the harder one, a little bit harder, is East Coast swing. Rock step. It starts. Triple step. Triple step. Triple step. Rock step.
Don't get your way, all you do is fuss and pout.
Other side,
You're
left
the
side.
only reason.
Ready?
Keep on
Triple step. Triple step. Triple step. Rock step.
I'm like the rock of Gibraltar. I always say
This is pretty bored. This is all the moves with my triple step. And rock step. Triple step. Triple step. Rock step. Let's move with just triple step. Ready? Triple step on the right. Triple step. Triple step. Triple step. Triple step. Polka. Makes it simple. Add a rock step. Ready? On the left side. 5, 6, 7, 8. Rock step. Triple step. Triple step. Rock step. Triple step.
keep up my soul. I know sometimes I'm
with a partner. We can do this. Holding hands.
These are my people.
Keep going.
Now just follow your leader.
Triple step, rock step. The triple steps end up being pretty hard, aren't they? It's a little tough. So what are we supposed to do? Practice the discipline of getting that rock step and making it easy, because it's really not hard at all. It's easy. It's easy.
And can we just demonstrate a swing out real quick? Yeah.
I'll go back to this.
Sweet thing.
All right.
So here's the last one. This is the tough one. You ready for the tough one? Triple step, kicking step.
Triple step, kicking step.
Ready? I'll do that. I'll do the follow. Triple step, kick step.
Don't get your way, all you do is fuss and pout. You're the only reason, keep on coming home. I'm like the rock of Gibraltar.
Let's look at those kick and step. Kick and step. Kick and step. Let's switch sides. Left side.
Never think before I say.
Triple steps. Ready, left. Triple step, kick and step. Let's switch sides. You follows are gonna follow the right side, and I'm gonna do the left side. Triple step, triple step.
I know sometimes I'm out of control. You're the only reason I keep on coming. You're the reason I keep on coming. Yeah. You're the only reason I keep on coming.
All right, yay, good job. Practice. Let's get discipline so you can go anywhere and play with the music. Thank you.
And I know this is kind of funny, but I just want to share that a lot of people have been coming lately to the clinic with really tight butts. And I swear, I think it's from the way they stand in the kitchen. Like, that's probably the root cause, the way they're flipping their eggs. So yeah, just this whole like egg flipping thing or your vegan pancakes. Yes. Shake it out. Thank you so much.
So much fun. We just got some dancing, and of course we got to add the music to round off this little gathering tonight. So what we're gonna do is, so instead of having like, a lot of times you go to a music thing and there's a jam, and jams are really great, jams are really fun, but today is about discipline. So we're going to have 4 different groups, and you're going to have a very specific part. And the discipline of this little music adventure is to be able to play your part and keep playing your part, even though other parts are playing, to listen to the other parts that are happening and to keep staying with your part and not drifting. We tried this before with a few other friends, and somehow people start drifting to the other parts, or they like, oh, I like that part better. I'm going to play that part. And so they start doing that. But you know how it is in the play. If everyone's playing their part in the play, then the whole play runs better. It just is right. And if one person like it is playing someone else's part, it just like doesn't feel right, or something's really off. So we're gonna see how that goes. Before I start that though, I wanted to maybe mention about upcoming things. So we don't. Some people have sometimes to leave at a little early, and I wanted to make sure we caught things that are coming up in the future. There's little play shops or workshops or things that we want to be offering, and one that's coming up soon. I think it's October 2nd, a Sunday, another Sunday, in the afternoon. We wanted to share a tiny little bit, Marsha, and there's a couple other people that really wanted to do this little writing thing. So if you know who they were or they're not here today, see if you can reach them. But maybe just a couple things. We get the instruments.
Aloha. I'm Marsha Zena Major. I'm a writer and author for decades. I'm also a workshop leader and an improviser and performer. So I have been teaching workshops for many, many years, and I'm offering something on Sunday, October 2nd from 1 to 4. And the title of this play shop, let's not call it a workshop, is The Power of Writing Badly, Transforming Fear and Perfectionism into Vital Creativity. So I want to invite everybody and anybody who has any desire to play with words to come to this. This is going to be fun. You don't have to have any writing experience, or you can have writing experience. It doesn't matter. And I'm also a writing coach and book coach, but my specialty with writers, I've been working with writers myself for decades and many other writers for decades. My specialty is really working with the inner life of the writer, because if you're wondering about blocks or fear or procrastination or insecurity or any of that stuff that comes up about writing, it doesn't have anything to do with the words on paper. It has to do with what's going on in here. It has to do with your critical voices, and it has to do with your relationship to those critical voices. So in this play shop, we're going to play with words. I'm going to invite you to bring pen and paper and crayons, and I'm going to share secrets and strategies about how to build a new kind of relationship with your inner self that will allow this creativity to flow. And so I really hope, and you can sign up with Tunji. I think in the newsletter, you just reach out to him and email him. And I really hope that you'll come and bring your fear. I love fear. I love procrastination. I love insecurity. I love writer's block. You know, I'm like the Statue of Liberty. You know, bring me you're tired, you're procrastinating, you're frightened writers, because we're going to break through that and we're going to have a lot of fun and you'll build a new relationship to words. That's my speech. Oh, here. It's going to be here. Thank you. It's going to be here Sunday, October, I think it falls October 2nd, 1 to 4. Yes.
And speaking of, Marsha mentioned October. We're going to give a sneak preview of what our theme is for next month. And I'm only going to give people one guess. It's October, and she mentioned it. The theme for October is fear. So I would encourage you, between now and the gathering, if you're going to come, to really look at some things and write some things down. And Marsha will help you get started on that. But it'll be a third Sunday, and we're going to be delving into some things about fear since it's Halloween month. Okay, so there's 4 little.
Can I address this fear thing real quick? You'll see there the little flyer at the end of the month on the 30th. Sunday the 30th. This is something for your kids and your family and kids of all ages. I just want to let you know about it in case you don't see the newsletter. A good friend of mine, Jeff Gear, is celebrating his 70th birthday. He's born on Halloween, and he's doing 13 performances, storytelling sessions around the island. And so he's doing one here on that night. It's like 5:30 to I don't know exactly how long. It's kind of strictly donation based because he's donating his time as a fundraiser for Vital Living. So you can, whatever you think you can bring, and bring your families and kids. And he's just an amazing storyteller, international storytellers, travel all over the world. You can learn all about Jeff Gear, but it's guaranteed an exciting, fun time. I don't know, Marsh, if you must know Jeff. But so just something to put in your mind, let your friends know with kids, consider that. And we have a concert here the night before with Tiki Taboo. The name speaks for itself, some kind of Halloween exotica surf fun dance.
Okay. Questions?
So that's on Halloween, Yuji? Actually, Sunday before. Halloween's on Monday.
We have Saturday concert and Sunday.
Sunday's the 30th. Okay.
Okay, there's going to be 4 different groups. I think I counted the number of people. So there's going to be about 4 or 5 people in each group. And so there's a group of drums here. You can grab maybe that group, this group, group 2, group 3, group 4. And there's bells and wood blocks, and there's very loud shaker things. So one group is going to be the shaker. So there's 1 shaker and 3 tambourines. So this is group shaker group. That's the bell and wooden group. So kind of getting okay. Sounds like the 1 drum group's going to be here. So maybe 4 people right here. How about the middle group being? You can come closer. Yeah. Come up on the stage. But I want people to be in your group. In your section. So you're going to be the shaker.
Yeah, you're welcome to come up here. We can find more chairs, more stools.
And who wants to bell and you can carry it over? Yeah. Okay, the bell stick group. Okay, you're the bell stick group. Okay, where's the bell stick group? You don't have to think. You have a drum. Oh, you have a drum. Okay, the middle right there. No, that's okay. Okay. Two more for a stick. For a bell.
Possibly can't capture all this on the
Ananda, bell.
drums.
Is going to set. You're going to be the metronome for now. You start speeding up, the whole group starts speeding up. Okay, your group is going to be a little up in front of the metronome. It's going to be a little upbeat down. So if they're starting to play, you can start playing your drum. Okay? Metronome, group one. So. Okay. Dun, dun. If you can do it. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, oh. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun, dun. Okay. Good. So you're ready for it. You can just try two. Dun, dun. There you go. Perfect.
Look, Kendyl. I saw her. She's got a part figured out now. Turned it on before you plugged in.
Spontaneity. Like 3 minutes. 3 minutes of spontaneity. Okay.
Totally pushes 3 minutes.
So you can just feel into it. Take deep breaths. Use your diaphragmatic breathing. and pounded on drums. What more? Writing. Oh, fun. I really want to. Oh yeah. You were talking about. I really want to.
So say if it's your first time here, you can put your email on the little iPad if you want like a newsletter. Thank you for coming.
Well, that's what I mean. That's what I mean.
Oh man, I was so tired today. It's my first day off a long time.
Oh, there's two edges. So are those, I thought you were going right, left. Yes. So funny how suddenly it doesn't work. Right, the brain just gets like accepted. That is exactly what's so cool. I know. When I was a oh, or something right. You want you to get off. Right, like calm down. It's very funny. And then you get it tackle. And it's like really.
And you went to our
If you're ever going to play drumming class together, I'm in.
Oh yeah, I was sweating last night after that. That was so much fun.
Yes. Yes, it's I have a question for you.
That was so fun.
You don't have an I mean, Hunter is 6 months. It's for 6 weeks.
No, I'm not. Hanging out.
We're tenting, and we need to get out for 1 night. Mid-October.
I loved your music that night when you offered it.
Yeah,
It's
just
really
one
beautiful.
night.
It's on by your son.
Wednesday,
So sweet.
October 19th. We have to leave, I mean, that's why I was going to ask you, is it possible for us to come? I mean, you can also stay. I mean, there's
I started
you know, we have a
she was in
dog.
my belly. So I wanted her to hear it.
Including me, yeah, it's really
It's been so fun to
yeah,
play,
no,
actually.
have we met before? It looks so familiar.
Okay.
Dare? DARE. Only been here a year on island.
What were you playing in Open G?
I kind of want
There's so
to.
many different tunes.
Yeah,
Nicole, yeah.
yeah. No, I do like to write.
That's the easiest one, but there's a bunch.
Challenge you and invite you.
Okay, challenge yourself.
And bring fear. I love fear, like I said, really. All the concern.
If you ever want to teach something, if you ever want to learn, yeah, I do.
Sunday.
Yeah.
It's a Sunday.
And I love having students that actually want to learn Slaki because a lot of times I just end up teaching.
I just want to make sure we
Eight
Yeah.
year olds.
Hopefully, I'll see you guys there. Then thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, I don't
So
have.
that's, I mean, you
anything right now, but I can give you.
I was just thinking that you might have had one.
Yeah, we live in Montpellier, like right next to the, kind of by the airport. Are you guys on the North Shore?
We're in the middle one.
Oh, that's still pretty close. Yeah.
Townhouses right after the polo.
Okay, yeah, we're just a little past that. Yeah. Yeah, past the polo field, but before the airfield. So I look, this is you. Yeah, if you want to. I can even write my number. Right. I have a pencil actually. Yeah.
Yeah, you've been helpful.
I'm good. How are you?
Thank you so much.
Oh, no, it's okay.
Yeah. I mean, we can move that stuff too, because it needs to go anyway. We're not keeping it up. But maybe even Ananda can help you. Ananda, you know Elise? Elise, the chef? Yeah. She wants to take it down. Oh, I will. Oh, I gotta wait. Yeah. Is this one of the new ones? It's really good.
It's a new one, but because they've made some that's simple.
Yeah, this one is pretty simple. You just pull the pin. Can I pull this pin out? All right. That's it. He's sick.
Yeah.
Walk it in.
Better like
You gotta
get
watch
inside
yourself,
of four, so they'll go over the table.
We have a friend who's a musician.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
I'll let you know because it's fun. Yeah, it's open to everybody.